Welcome everyone to New Millennium Mortgages Storytime Series. We invite realtors or real estate professionals on this channel to share their stories, whether it's funny, heartwarming, inspiring, or spooky. This episode, we're going to feature a very special friend of mine. This is realtor Carly Grundy. She is also a former client of mine, and what a better way to share a story in the middle of October than to share a spooky story. So Carly is going to share a story, an experience that her and I had together. So here in just a few minutes, we're going to turn the floor over to her, and Carly's going to share her experience. Before we do though, Carly, can you tell them who you are and who you work for?
Yeah, I'm Carly Grundy, and I'm an associate broker with RE/MAX Executives here in DeMont.
All right, here we go.
It was 2017, a dark and stormy night, but actually it was sunny and in the middle of the afternoon. We were checking out this house in the middle of nowhere with my dad, waiting on my husband, who is a state trooper. We walked into the house, and in the living room, it was a foreclosure, so of course not in the best condition. Just your basic living room, open to the kitchen. We walked down the hallway, and while we were in the master bedroom, we noticed that the previous owners had put concrete down the plumbing, the sinks, the shower drains, in the toilet. Yes, Sabotage. It was awful. So while we were laughing about that and the absolute disgust, we heard these footsteps, very distinct, very like marching in the attic or above our heads. And we kind of looked at each other and, okay, maybe we'll go check something else out now. So we left the master. We looked at a couple other bedrooms very quickly. And when we walked back out into the living room and the kitchen, we noticed that one of the kitchen cabinets was open when all the cabinets were closed before.
And it was a lower cabinet.
Yeah, it was on the bottom. So it's not an upper where there could have been a draft or anything like that to explain it opening. So we decided to quickly move through the house. And we went out to the garage and noticed that they had cut all of the wires to the electrical panel. So luckily the electricity was shut off. And we heard, when we walked back in, we heard the same footsteps, but going the opposite direction. So there was a pull down attic access, sinister style. So we checked up there, maybe there's their little circle of ghosts watching the video or whatever. But it was just an open attic, nowhere for anybody to hide, nowhere for animals to be. It was just empty, so there was no explanation. So with the hair standing up on our arms, we ran back outside to wait for my husband at the time to come and check out the house and give me a firm no, we're not buying this one.
And the funny part is, when we first walked into the house, I looked at her dad and I said, I feel like somebody is watching us. If you've ever walked into a house that you feel is like either haunted or possibly has a squatter living in it, Carly said it perfect. The hair on the back of your neck just stands up. The hair on your arm stands up. Instantly walking into this house, it just had that vibe, just that feeling.
It's that sixth sense.
Right.
That, there's something's not right.
I mean look at my head standing up right now. It was one of the creepiest occurrences I ever had as a realtor.
Yeah.
And now that you're a realtor, we get to share these stories,
yes,
which is amazing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, fantastic. But I remember, so we were still waiting for your husband to show up, who was a state trooper. Now, as a realtor, I'm going to make a confession on here. I always carried some form of protection with me because I got into real estate in 2010. Now, the market crash was in 2008, but we were still dealing with the fallout. So we were showing a lot of foreclosed homes out in the middle of nowhere to complete strangers. It doesn't get much stranger than this. So I always had some form of protection with me. I'm pretty sure your dad did as well.
Yes.
But you get into these situations where you just don't feel comfortable. And the fact that that cabinet on the bottom opened on its own, we can't explain how. It was a lower. There is no way that a draft hit that and opened that door. And we know for a fact it was closed because there was an island and we had to walk around the island to look
Yep.
at the plumbing underneath. So we
Yes.
knew it was closed. We knew we didn't open it, and it could not have been open because we wouldn't have been able to get through. It would have been too tight of a fit.
Right. Right.
So that was creepy. The overall feeling, looking up in the attic after hearing the footsteps twice,
Yes.
knowing there's no place for anybody up there to hide, was just too much. I am
Yeah.
so glad you did not write an offer on that house
Yeah.
because I would not have gone back for a final walkthrough.
That's one of those where the pictures are deceiving.
Complete sabotage.
Yes.
You know, thinking of that house, the Beastie Boys song "Sabotage" keeps playing on my head. I would not have wanted to be the one that was there the first time they turned the power on if they had not looked at the breaker
not.
box.
Yeah, absolutely
The
not.
fact that the house is still standing now means they probably did check it first. But
I would
wow.
hope so.
Talk about a creepy experience.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us. I appreciate it. So does Carly. I'm going to have her information on here. If you want to hear more of Carly's real estate stories, feel free to reach out to her. And again, my name is Dan Amsler. I'm a loan officer here with New Millennium Mortgage. I'm a former real estate agent, former realtor. If you have a story that you'd like to come on this channel and share, please reach out to me as well. I'll put my name and number on here. And hey, until next time, we'll see you.